And that was really exciting for me. I was able to apply for it at the start of my sophomore year, which is really early. You know, I'd only been in college for a year. And going through that application process kind of allowed me to find who I wanted to be, you know, what sort of work I was really excited about. It was really this great focusing moment. And to win it, of course, you know, opened up a lot of doors. And now, looking at after graduation, these awards like the Rhodes and the Marshall and the Churchill, on what are you going to do in graduate school? What are going to be the first steps toward your career outside of this undergraduate university where I've spent almost 4 years now? And they're also taking me somewhere else. The Goldwater, I was, you know, if I had won or not won, it wouldn't have been that different because I would have still been going here to school here. And you know, these awards can take you to Oxford or Cambridge now, which are, you know, two of the most prestigious and oldest universities. It really forced me to sort of set a path for myself. I think they really like people who know what they want to do and can articulate what sort of person they're going to become. And for me, it allowed me to kind of dig into myself and look at my experiences and think about what makes me excited, what I'm passionate about, what's the sort of work. And for me particularly, that allowed me to really realize my interest in doing research that affects people with blindness and visual impairments. That's something that I've had an interest in for a really long time, but because I've had such a sort of broad, diverse experience at MSU, it's almost been like a liberal arts education. I've been doing English, I've been doing biochemistry, I've been doing neuroscience, and to think about how those come together and how I can sort of put myself on a very strong forward-focused path to do visual neuroscience research. I think that was probably the number one thing. That's something that I sort of knew that I wanted to do, but to actually write it down and to say, if I get this award and I go to these schools, this is the type of work that I'll be doing. It really helped solidify for me that future path. I think my advice to people is not to be intimidated. These things go actually pretty slowly. It's sort of one thing at a time, one step at a time. You don't have to swallow the whole pill at once. And that process really over however many months that you're working on the application, especially if you're working with, say, a mentor or friends or people who can give you feedback, that whole process, that whole journey is, I think, really, really rewarding and really beneficial.